Guys. Gonna walk down this beautiful trail. Looks like it's gonna be quite a view down here. Well, looks like all the leaves are just about falling. Autumn has come. Puppies are in the car because there's some people down here, and my puppies don't feel very good either. We went on that little walk a couple days ago. I guess they were eating whatever they could find, garbage and stuff, and just upset their stomachs. Oh man, beautiful little view here. I'll let them out here in a little bit with the people go, but not while the people are here. Oh man, look at this.
Tengo café pero en tu carro. Tengo café pero en el carro. Aquí se quedó uno, o sea, ¿ves? Mira como aquí.
I don't know if this is a trail. I thought it was going to have a long trail. Yeah, here's a trail. Oh man, it's so neat. It's actually cold though. I couldn't believe how cold it's been. I don't know if it's just a cold snap spell, and then it gets a little warmer later, or if this is what it is. And because we're in November, I suspect it's going to get colder. But I don't know. I mean, it's not like snow or anything like Idaho, but you know, it's cool. Look at these. All the leaves are gone. All the leaves have fallen. Is that a song? I don't think so. Wow. Oh, man. I think I kind of had a little bit of a revelation on the way here. Funny thing happened to me along the way to the show. Which reminds me, remember Jack Benny? Yeah. These guys own the show business. Quite a few of them. They all look alike. But they were the producers, and then they would give themselves starring roles. Comedians, all of this. Probably a stage name. Benny, Jack Benny. But there's a guy on Fox News, Fox Business or something. Ludlow, how is it? Let me think of his name. Larry Ludlow. Can't think of his name right now. Anyway, he's the exact spitting image of Jack Benny. I think he must be related. They're just good at spinning the news, no matter what happens. Comedy or entertainment or the news or whatever. Anyway, that's not what my revelation was today. Much more profound. Larry Ludlow. I'm wanting to say Lou, but it's not Lou. It's something Kudrow. I don't know. But a profound thought, I think, happened upon me that just, I think it's really helped me kind of come out of something that I've been in for I've been in a kind of a funk. Because when I first got to this beautiful area and all these beautiful places that I could go and, hike and see. Remember the first few months I was traveling all over the place and there was these beautiful sights and, I was taking the dogs and we were just having a good old time. And then the last, 2 or 3 months, I haven't really been doing a lot of hiking. Except for, I started doing hiking right near my house along the river, which is all beautiful area. But then that kind of got the kibosh on that too, because then the rangers were after me and searched my vehicle, and that kind of made, I didn't go back after that. I quit going. Then I discovered that right behind my house I could walk, a pretty good, beautiful area, but I could go walking out there, and I did that. But I think that gets a little boring to do my little walks and videos there. So I was like, well, how come I don't go to some of these beautiful places that are around here? Like where I'm at today. But I waited till all the leaves fell. Would have been nice if I'd have been here about a month, a couple weeks earlier, maybe. But it's a nice sunny day. But so I was in a funk before that, I think. And then, and it's funny because I've been really working over the years. I've been really working on positive thinking and that kind of thing. And I do pretty good. With all the bad things going on in the world, I think I'm pretty stable and stuff, but I try to look at the bright side of most everything, and I'm not usually depressed a lot or anything. But from time to time, something will happen, just kind of throw you off, but there's an underlying belief or something within me that keeps me kind of on an even keel, I guess. My faith in the Lord and my knowledge, I think, of how negativity hurts and destroys. But nevertheless, this is a hard beast to get off your back. Living in this world. The reality of this hard, painful world. It gets you at times, and you just think, like I think maybe for some people it gets them way bad. Like they'll go get some whiskey and just start drinking. Right, and just drift off into some sort of la-la land, and then when they get there, they start feeling bad about themselves, and it could be a real spiral, right? And I don't do that anymore. I think I did that a couple of times back in the day, because, I had some pretty rough times when my daughter was born, and my mother had passed away, and when Autumn was 2, and I was just all alone without the only one person in the world that ever loved me, I think. And here I was now, got to be a grown man now and take care of a little girl and be be everything to this child. And I learned a lot from my mother, and I was able to do pretty good, but it was, I had nothing physically. And so there was a lot of challenges. And I'm not going to talk about that in this video today, but it was a lot of challenges, and it was really, really tough. I was harassed a lot because I was a single father. And, I've talked about a few of those things in the past, but that's all in the past. I'm just saying I've had my ups and downs, and, of course, years and years ago, I didn't know all the things I know now. But I did pray a lot then, too. And I learned, like I've told you guys, I had that event when I was 22 with the angel and stuff. So I've known that the Lord was present. But it don't matter what. You can have the Lord come right up to you and sit down and pull up a chair, and you're like, okay, prove you're the Lord, Oh, okay, well, you're levitating now. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm levitating. It must be the Lord. And then you start thinking, maybe it's the devil, I don't know. It's just not that simple, And I think that's why the Lord doesn't just bring angels down and prove that he exists every day to everybody. Because that's not what we really need. That's not the only thing there is in this world. To have some, like Jesus said, you won't get any more signs except for Jonah, who was in the belly of the earth 3 days, or the belly of the whale, 3 days and 3 nights. Gosh, it's beautiful. Certain kind of beauty even without the leaves on the trees. It's a lot of deep greens and grays and purples. That river is so greenish blue. It's beautiful. But what we're trying to do, I guess, is through experience. We got to walk through the fire. We got to get burned so that we learn to pull our feet out of the fire, before we get burned up. Just like my little puppy that's sick today. She was kind of the most stubborn of the 3. Now, they all got a little sick from whatever they were eating the other day. They all got an upset stomach. I could see it. And Buster didn't eat anything yesterday. And I was like, why aren't you eating? He usually just devours whatever I give him. And I noticed that little Blueberry didn't look so good yesterday either. Or the day before. But I thought, well, maybe I didn't notice too much, but I did notice that Buster hadn't eaten anything. And then yesterday I noticed that Maggie really didn't want to go outside. She just wanted to sleep. And then I picked her up to give her some breakfast this morning, and I noticed how light she was. Like she had nothing in her stomach. She wasn't just full, like she usually is with her big tummy. And I thought, oh man, she did not eat yesterday either. Of course, I also had noticed she'd thrown up a couple times, and I thought, well, sometimes they eat something and they throw it back up, and that's kind of normal. But kind of figured out after a while that she didn't feel very good at all. And then I kind of put everything together. But I was thinking about how stubborn she's been. She'll fight her sister and brother for the food, and she's just kind of got an attitude. And I thought, well, that's probably why she got the sickest out of the 3. Because whatever they found, whatever it was, some rotten piece of meat or something, she probably fought them off and kept it and ate it down before they could get to it or something, because she's kind of stubborn. But she paid the price for that little stubbornness. Because she ate the most of whatever it was, and she got real sick. So, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of like karma. And I thought, well, poor little thing. You can't blame her. She's just a puppy. But, and I thought, well, that's how we learn. That's how she learns. Maybe it'll kind of take a little bit of the starch out of her shorts, and she won't be so stubborn who knows? Maybe she'll be right back to the same little puppy she's always been. But she's a sweetie puppy. I'm not trying to bring any, I'm not disparaging Maggie. She's a sweet little puppy, but she can be a little stubborn, I guess. But I'm just saying, we all have to learn these things and go through the fire, even the puppies. And I guess over time we do learn. Maybe it's a slow process. So it doesn't matter if you could see the Lord standing right next to you. That wouldn't automatically change your character. I had to continue from that point on, since I was 22, keep pushing. And it got hard. And I was like, Lord, hey, I'm your child. Why are you making this hard for me? Why aren't we in paradise yet? And she ain't there. But, I didn't get to go to paradise right away. I had to go through some more troublesome times. For sure. And, like the little puppy, I guess I got, depressed at times. There were not more than one time that I went and got a bottle of wine or something and drank it. And maybe even felt sorry for myself. But some of that's kind of good, to sit and think about the past. If you're doing it to try, if your intention is to overcome the past, not to sit and wallow in your pain. So I spent a time or two thinking about all the things that was happening, how unfair it was. And, when I say a time or two, I mean, I'm just like anybody else. I've been through all of it, just like all of you. And did it alone, like many of you. And sometimes thought it was a little unfair, like many of you. And tough and rigorous. And wanted to give up a few times in my life. But, I don't think, because my mother instilled in me so many values that I could use as I went forward in my existence, I don't think I ever sunk maybe as far as I could have had she not given me those beautiful... What, is this the end of the road here? Or is there a trail that goes the other way? Probably goes down through there. Yeah, but I'm going to go look at this for a second. But I made it, I made it to this point. And, over the last, 10 years or more, I've learned so many things, valuable things. I mean, knowledge. Pieces of information and knowledge that I'm so happy that I have. And there's, not a day that goes by, I think, that I don't realize. Every time I feel a little depressed or negative about something, I always say, but Dave, you've got things, you got everything you really wanted. This is what you asked for. You wanted the truth. In order to find that truth, you had to go down through the valley of shadows of death to find all the answers. And you had to. And I was aware of that. And and so I braced myself and pulled up my britches and girded my loins and, reached back again for my sword of the Spirit. And I managed to carry on, soldier. Like many of you. But I thought that by now I would never ever have any of those moments again, that I'd never be sad or depressed again. And every time I would think that, something would come along that would be even more earth-shattering or more difficult for me to overcome, or another problem, that I didn't expect. I mean, even after my daughter grew up and became a successful young woman and beautiful and healthy, and, I didn't have to worry, where she was or if she was okay. I mean, that was one of my big things for years, But we got through all of that, and the Lord blessed her and blessed me because of it. And I thank the Lord every day for that. But the one thing I had always asked for was a soulmate. I never got that. got that. I think it's because I wanted it too much. And I had to choose what was my, I think, as I look back, I realized that no matter what we desire, there's nothing wrong with desiring anything. You can, you eat because you have to, or else we die. And it's pleasurable, and that's why it's pleasurable. If we didn't like to eat, we'd probably starve to death, But for years I wanted my soulmate, a wife. I think more for my daughter than me, because I felt so sad for her that she had no family. And I regretted, and I felt resentment that the Jehovah's Witnesses did to me in my life. I felt some resentment. I tried not to. I made believe that I didn't have any resentment. I forgave them all for everything. But nonetheless, I know that there was bitterness within me, because I remember the Lord showed me this as I would have dreams sometimes, and it'd be a weird nightmare, And I was like, where did that come from? And the Lord showed me that I still had problems inside, psychologically, beneath, that I had to overcome. I hadn't forgiven a few individuals in my life completely, or I hadn't come to some, place of atonement. I hadn't come to a place where I could let go of that pain. I repressed it. I didn't know I was even still dealing with some of these issues, but I was. And I think the last time, I was determined to go through experiences to reach another level. And this was just a couple months ago. And I got that mushroom, well, I don't know if I want to mention the name of it, but you guys watch my videos, and the Amanita, mushrooms. Anyway, I ordered that, and I partook of it, and I had a most amazing revelation. And I went to a place where I experienced, like hell for a while. In fact, I wouldn't really even want to go through that again. It was so terrible. But it was certainly worth it, because after I got through that, I went to a place where I could say, literally and without hesitation, I went to a place where the mountain of the Lord was, and the waters of life flowed down. And I saw Mother Mary, and He gave me a great revelation. And I'm not going to talk about that today, because we've talked about it in other videos. But from that, excuse me, from that point on, I had this newfound understanding. And, and I thought, oh, well, then that means I'm well now. I'm healed. I went there and I found the truth, and dun, 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 and it's all done. Well, right about that time, there was somebody in my life that I had met, and I dearly loved, and I felt so good for a moment, just before that, just a little bit, like the first few months I was living here in Alabama. It was so beautiful and everything was wonderful, and I thought, man, it was just so. I thought I was on top of the world, and everything was good, and good friends, and my daughter was happy, and then I'd had this revelation, and I was just on cloud 9, and really, I was just very, very happy, and then out of the blue, out of the woodwork, a crazy event just happened, which, I'm not going to describe it or anything, because it's a personal matter, but it's like I just woke up one day and somebody just pulled the rug out from under me again, and I didn't really even know why. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't mean, what happened? Oh, it's gone. right? This person that I cared about with every fiber of my being was just gone. And it was all due to some kind of misunderstanding. And then, to top it all off, strange things, just weird circumstances occurred where things just got out of weird, just almost like accidental things just got in the way. So that the misunderstanding grew rather than got better. And I that's all I'll say. And I think the person, maybe it's a misunderstanding. I still don't know today. But I haven't seen this person or heard of him. And, I handled it better than I would have when I was younger. I think I would have been depressed, pretty depressed. And I would have sunk into some sort of depression or something had I been 20 years old again. Or even 30. So I do feel as though I have grown much over the years, but still it bothered me, and it was a blow. And I felt a little bit of this negativity kind of under the surface being brought to the surface, and I just felt like, well, just ignore it and pray and trust in the Lord. That's all you can do. And since we don't know everything, we're not masters of this magic we call life. We make little mistakes because we're not yet perfected. And so I think somehow when we're not quite perfected, our subconscious mind, or the superconscious, however you like to look at it, throws things in front of us that are, in the big picture, they're designed to get us to face the last few problems that we have, or whatever problems that we're facing that we need to face at that time. And so I guess it was my fate or destiny to experience a few more things, a couple more rocks in the road, and and see, because I needed to ride higher even than I had hitherto imagined. I guess is what I'm going to say. So I dealt with those things, and it's just like, no, Lord, no, right? Come on now, man. This is just, and I think it makes you stop and think, okay, what do you really want more than anything, David? Your soulmate? Or the truth and the glory? Do you want to get out of this world and come to the place where when you're there, you'll have your soulmate? You'll be with the Lord, and you'll see Mother Mary every day. And you'll be living in paradise when you have no more other issues to deal with. But you still have to get through these issues. Are you so carnally minded that you're going to sit and believe that the Lord is not capable of anything? That you are not capable of overcoming anything? And nothing should be able to take away your peace. Nothing should be able to, because we have to understand that everything that exists in the universe comes from within, and we are the I am, and we just have to believe and have faith that whatever we ask, we shall receive. And so obviously, if I started falling prey to this negativity and I was beginning to lose things that I thought were very important to me, I still had some lessons to learn, and I was like, okay, Lord, what's going on? I will submit under the power of this experience, and I will try to be positive and call that which is not, is, as the New Testament says, to declare the things that are not as the things that are. And so I didn't give up. I just said, Lord, I'm going to trust in you. I know it'll all work out. Well, for the last several months, nothing really has changed. I'm still here, but the Lord just keeps giving me these glories. What is that, a castle over there on top of that hill? These glorious revelations. They just keep coming. And I have to keep reminding myself that these revelations are power. If I didn't know these things, and now I do, then I'm gaining power. I'm gaining strength. I'm gaining, by extension, I'm going to be gaining happiness. You know, overcoming, conquering my fears with what? Knowledge. When you find out that you're a little kid and you're in the dark and you're scared of monsters and there is no monsters. It's just dark. It's just ignorance. And the light, you turn the light on and nothing in the room. Everything's fine. Reality is good. There's never anything to be afraid of. So long as we're willing to stand and concentrate and focus on the Lord and that Spirit that bears witness with ours. And we say to like Jesus said to Martha, Martha, I am the resurrection and the life. You know? Take me to Lazarus. Where is he? He's not dead. That's just an illusion. None of your problems could be real. Because do you know who you are? You know, you've got to overcome all of this. So, you know, it's just like running a race. You've got to, everybody has to get in line and go and see who's fastest. You know, there's a prize at the end for the one who achieves their goal. And the neat thing about life is everybody can achieve the prize. We just have to be, you know, we just have to endure until the end. And whoever endures until the end shall be delivered from the wrath to come. And we'll get our white robes and our crowns and everything else. And I'm completely certain of that. But see, you know, there are times when you start to waver just a little bit. And I think it's that selfishness, it's that fear within inside of us, because there's no fear in love, but we're not perfected in love yet. We have to perfect love. We have to be perfected through the trials, and we learn by the things that we suffer. So I'm still going along, and I'm still learning, and I'm still grateful, and I'm still trying to see it as I ought to see it, not as I think I see it. And so I've been kind of noticing and thinking and praying about it too. I was like, Lord, well, I progressed so much and I learned so much, and it's so beautiful, the things that you're teaching me and showing me. But I'm left wanting, you know, like I'm not in paradise. And I'm angry every day when I see on the news that all these poor innocent children are being deceived, and all this transgenderism and all this evil, and these politicians lying to us, and it's just it's tough to just, you know, stop and say, okay, the Lord's got this. Don't worry, just be patient. That's part of the Holy Spirit. One of the fruits of the Holy Spirit is patience. You know, time is not a factor. It doesn't matter how long, because in reality, that which is all there really is. And that's the love of the Lord. And that's the truth. And we just have to wait patiently for it, without allowing ourselves to fall into despair. And so I've tried. And I have done pretty good, I guess. I mean, I didn't go back to the bottle or anything, you know, and I did the best I could. And I had my good days, and I tried to, but I think there was something was still bothering me, you know. There's something was still bothering me. And there was several things that did that to me. I think one of them was the fact that here I was in this beautiful area, and now all of a sudden, you know, my daughter goes to California, and I've got to worry about how I can get out there. And my best friend isn't talking to me, and there's just these, you know, things that are weighing upon me. And I'm like, no, Lord, no, you know, but okay, I'll submit to your will, and let's just be patient. So I'm being patient, and I'm praying about it every day, and I'm not quite grasping that there's this negativity kind of hovering because I'm not willing to, like, I couldn't quite grasp it. Like when that ranger searched my vehicle for no reason. And I felt like it was like rape, you know, in a sense. I felt like, okay, so everywhere I go, you're going to harass me. And I just like, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to stay home. 'Cause I don't want to be harassed by the police, you know. And I don't want to have to look over my shoulder when I go walking. And there's some ranger going to come along and tell me that my dog's got to be on a leash or something. And I think I just started to dwell on, you know, be more conscious of all these little negative things. And I didn't, you know, realize it, but I think they were more forefront than I should have allowed them to be. Because I looked around this morning and I was thinking, you know, this is so beautiful. There are a lot of positive things too. I have a roof over my head and food in my stomach. My puppies are beautiful, and this is a beautiful country, and my car runs, and I can go to the parks. You know, and if somebody pulls me over, I got a driver's license. You know, just show them your driver's license and smile and testify of the Lord, but don't stop going out and enjoying the things around you. And that started changing my thoughts there for a moment. I thought, wait a minute. Like, I know that there are so many people that are out running around frolicking in the parks with their animals, and they're having a good time and laughing, and maybe children or younger people that haven't had all these, you know, maybe they don't have a mortgages due or something, you know, and so they don't realize that there's all these negative things going on. And dad, mom, they don't put that on the kids, and so the kids are running around playing. There's just as much negativity in the world, but the child's not aware of it. So they're just jumping and playing, and they're happy. And that's something that a good parent can do for their kids. When they're little, they need that time to be a child, to be innocent. They shouldn't be burdened down with all these problems, and that's the time that they should be learning how to, you know, be told about the rewards of doing what's right, and how to be polite and good to your brother and sister, and then shown that, you know, there's a reward for that. Peace in your soul and happiness. Your family all together, because we all did the right thing. But then I thought, well, why can't I be like that? The Heavenly Father, I have a daddy and a mommy. They'll take care of me. The angels will make sure that everything will be fine. I'm going to put it all on the Lord. I'm going to just go ahead and go to the park. I'm going to just drive to the park and enjoy the day. And if the ranger stops me and harasses me, just remember the angels are right beside me. Everything's going to be all right. Don't focus on all that bad stuff. And it started to lift, and I started to feel better. And I wasn't thinking about, oh man, as I'm driving, you know, what's going to happen when I get there? You know, am I going to have the $5? Did I go get change? Sometimes they want you to pay $5 to park and all this stuff, and all these thoughts. And you know, like I say, it just kind of makes you a little negative and pissed off. It kind of ruins your whole day sometimes. And it shouldn't, because we should always be more aware of the beauty. Like, we should say, okay, what if we do get stopped? What if we have to go to the gas station and get change? What if we have to face some negativity? So what? We just don't enjoy our life? We don't go? We stay home and mope? No. Just accept that no matter what happens, even like Peter when he went to jail, the angel got him out of there. You know, Jesus said some of you will be put into jail, some of you, you know, take to prison. But by endurance, you'll win your souls. So I began to realize, man, I got to stop this. I got to get out and I got to enjoy the world. And as I was doing that, I was thinking those thoughts. A scripture verse came to me, and this is what I wanted to share with you guys. And it was this. My cup is well filled. You know, you heard that. Psalm 23. It's a beautiful, beautiful verse. But there's one line that I really, 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 really going to hold on to whenever I get these thoughts. It says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. because you're with me. The Lord is always with us. So even if we've got to experience the shadows and a little negativity, don't let that be your focus. You know? And so once I overcome that and I stop focusing on these negative things, and I remember to put the Lord first, then I know that then the rewards will come. Because we're not, you know, whatever we, you know, it'll be according to your faith. You know? So, man, these tests just keep coming. And I'm sharing it with you because I think a lot of us need to have this, you know, we need to be reminded of this. I don't know how long this trail is, how far it goes. It's so pretty. I can't imagine what it's like in the spring or the fall when there's leaves. I bet it's really pretty. I'm still here in spring when there's some leaves. I don't think I will be. I'm going to be, for sure, I'm leaving in March to New Mexico. But too bad that I won't get to see more of Alabama. It was a beautiful place. And I never did get to see other places like Virginia or any other place, or Florida. You know, which, you know, I would never, like as far as living there or anything like that, I wouldn't do that because there's too much going on down there now. But that's where they want everybody to go right now. They're setting DeSantis up to split the Republican vote. That way they can, when Trump or DeSantis doesn't win, because remember they got control of the voting ballots. They can cheat. They'll just say, oh, it's because, you know, a lot of people didn't like Trump and they went for someone else. And well, you know, it wouldn't matter if they did, because I don't really know if they're going to hand it over to Trump and he's going to hand it over to the one world government, or it was going to go the other route where Trump doesn't get in and there's this riots and civil war. Who knows what's about to happen? I can't even guess anymore. I can't even guess anymore. And I don't even think about it much anymore. I mean, I don't even watch the news hardly at all. I watched a couple of 10, 15 minute YouTube videos on the election. I guess they completely stole the governorship from that Katie, was it Kate Lake or something? For sure, that was totally fraudulent. And Walker, all that. I don't believe any of those races were accurately done. But I can't say any more, guys. I'm not allowed to talk about it. So. Can't be, you know, a denier of anything that they claim you must believe. You know, think about how these words, you know, denier, you know, that's just something we use in a speech. He's a denier. Okay, what does that mean? You're not allowed to say certain things. If you deny what we say is the truth, you will be run out of town. And if you still deny it after you've been run out of town, they'll hunt you down. I'm not kidding you. And I'm sure most of you know that I'm telling the truth and I'm not lying. Okay, well, let's walk a little faster because I'm just sitting here looking at all this beautiful scenery. I'm not going anywhere. I was kind of concentrating on what I was saying and I got kind of deep. Anyway, but I'm sure that was meant for somebody today. Other than just me. It's kind of weird. I'm hot and cold at the same time. Because it's kind of chilly out, but I've got this kind of a jacket thing. I've got a shirt and this sort of flannel, you know, cozy little jacket. And I like being warm, but at the same time, when you're walking, you kind of sweat a little bit, and you start getting kind of warm. Almost to the point I want to take off this jacket, but then I'm like, nah, I think it'd be too cold without the jacket. So keep it on for now. I don't know if we're going to be able to walk all the way to the end of this trail because I thought it was just a short trail, but it looks like it's kind of a long trail. If it goes a couple miles, I don't think I want to go a whole way today. But I'll walk a little faster, maybe we'll get a peek at what we're supposed to be seeing. Unique root pattern. It would help if I knew where I'm walking to. Like, is it worth it? Is there something to see at the end of this trail? Because we're at 47 minutes. So I'll probably walk for another 15 minutes. And then if we're not at some destination, I'll probably just set it off and walk back. Check on Maggie. She had a little accident on the way over here because she just don't feel good at all, poor thing. So I didn't let them out because I didn't think they were in the mood to be walking. They don't feel good. Not this far. I wonder what that red thing is. I don't know. We're going down again. Well, that mountain is I think we're going to go to a lookout or something, because I've seen pictures where you look down at this mountain. It's almost like a a temple, isn't it? It's like a big plateau. And, you know, like in Utah. And then the water goes around it. Like that one in Utah. Neat. Really neat. Okay. Okay, Bob. Where are we going now? I ain't going down too much further, though. I guess I could look at the map and see if there's a way to tell where I'm at. Or where I'm going. I did look at the map earlier, and this trail was a long way, so I ain't going to go that far. It comes into other trails and everything else. So I'll probably just go up here a little bit and then turn around. It's like a little rock we could look off of from here. Maybe this is it. This is the destination. It's a good one. I think this will be the one that I will call my destination. Yeah. Yeah, it just hangs out over there. Be a nice place to camp underneath there. You got shelter. Have your camp there. If I had property with some kind of a rock like this edifice, I would have my little balcony patio up on top, see? And I'd built some stairs going down and around. I saw, well, and then a little cabin underneath here. And I saw a guy on TV did that. It's fascinating. It's so neat, this guy that does this. He finds these little rock areas and he builds a cabin right into the cave, right into the cliff. It's so neat. Oh my goodness, we should go down and take a look at that. What? Yeah. Oh man, that might be something neat to look at there, huh? Like, what's this? Huh. Yeah. Huh. Boy, there are a lot of people that just really got it made, don't they? Lots of people living on these little lakes, these rivers. I always wonder how so many people got all this money. Probably nurses and doctors. The wife was a nurse making $40,000 or $40 an hour, and the husband was a nurse making. I knew a couple that he was a nurse and he was making. You do your 40 hours in 10 days and then you get 10 days off. So he was doing double, and so he had 2 jobs. And both was paying, like, I don't know how many. I don't remember the money that they were making, but it was probably about $60,000 each. So he had about $120,000 there. Of course, I imagine a lot of that went to taxes. And then his wife did a whole shift, a regular, full-time nursing, and she made another $60,000. So it was like $180,000 a year. But that's guess. I don't remember it was $180,000, but it was a lot of money. It could have been more, whatever they make. And they did that for years. The man just worked night and day. It was like 10-hour shifts or something. I don't know. Maybe it was every 10-hour shifts for 3 days or 4 days and 4 days off or something. And he would just switch back and forth. But anyway, they made a lot of money and, bought themselves a big house and everything. And then after they got to be 50, maybe they retired or something. I don't know. But a lot of these people have nice homes. They work real hard to get it. And but you know, what are they doing to get it? I don't think it's a moral thing to be a lawyer or a doctor, or you know. So we've thrown our morals into the. You know, I think that's why so many people probably believe in the system, because they're involved in it, and their conscience can't just say, well, I don't believe in the system, but I'm going to participate anyway. So they kind of have to deceive and make themselves believe that this is correct. So if you're not going to be living right, and you're going to be living it up and doing all these terrible things, then you're going to need some sort of pharmaceutical drug to take the pain away. So they believe in pharma because otherwise they couldn't live without their pain medications and stuff like this. And they don't realize that that's not the way. The way is to live right. This is not the right system, and we're going to have to stop, because the judgment has come, and people are going to have to take sides now. You either keep on participating in this wicked world and go with it when it goes, or repent, which is an old English way of saying stop doing it. It's tough. It means we have to let go of the world, the devil's kingdom. The Lord was offered Yahweh's kingdom. You know, Yahweh's the one that raises up kings and brings them down, he says, the God of this world. And he offered Jesus every kingdom of the world to be king of the world, over every kingdom, have all power. And Jesus said, no, I will not bow down to you, the God of this world, God of vengeance. This kingdom that you're offering me, I don't want it. I don't want no part of it, because it's wrathful, it's venomous, it's evil. It's no part of my kingdom. And he went to the cross, and we're going to have to understand. It's like, what are you talking about, Dave? You want to just go off and die? Well, you have to understand there is no death. Love overcomes all things. And if we really want happiness, not just pleasure, if we want contentment and peace in the kingdom of righteousness, we've got to choose it. And it may come by way of some sacrifice too. But we've got to stand together in love and say no to the devil's world. And I don't think there's going to be, at this point, a lot of people that are going to have the courage, but we're going to have to. And I think the 144,000, there will be a number of us that will do it. And perhaps through them, there'll be a great multitude that no man can number, out of all nations, tribes, and tongues, standing before the throne with white robes, waving their palm branches, saying, Hosanna, Hosanna, blessed be he that comes in the name of the Lord. And who is that comes in the name of the Lord? Well, it's the whole body of Christ. Jesus is the head, and we're all members of his body. Josh on the Sons of God Ministry mentioned this yesterday, I think, or the day before. You may just be a toe in that body. But the head can't say to the toe, you have no need of me. See, the Lord's not going to say to you, he didn't have any need of you. Even if you're just a little toe. We need all of you, friends, to shine the light of truth and love, to save our brothers and sisters, snatch them out of the fire. And that's interesting, because as we speak these words, we're right down to 59 minutes and 45 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to close this and bid you adieu. May the Lord bless you, and have a wonderful evening.